bouquets are a waste of money. I will hand over the stage to you. Over to you, Toastmaster Shubham.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gaurav. How many of you think that we human beings are deliberately over dramatic, sadly negative, and largely ignorant about our world? How many of you feel that we have a negative filter in front of our eyes whenever we look at the world? In the next few minutes, I'll share a few facts with you that will completely open your eyes and make you realize that the world is not as bad as it seems. Now, a voting link was shared earlier on my request in the chat box. It is a very famous survey by Dr. Hans Rosling, which has been taken by experts all over the world. Let us see how our Toastmasters fared in it. The first question was about girls finishing primary school in low-income countries. And to everyone's surprise, the correct answer is 60%. Yes, we forget where the majority lies. 60% of these girls have finished primary school. Let's see what the experts had to say. Yeah, only 8% got the right answer, and 92% of them believe that most girls don't even finish primary school. Let's see what our Toastmasters had to say. And mind you, these experts are people who are heavily invested in the world, political decision makers, researchers, scientists, doctors, and here we are. Our Toastmasters, a little better than the experts, but the point is that 88% of us still gave the wrong answer. We are in the dark. Now, if chimpanzees from zoo were to take this survey, the answers would look like this. It would be pretty random, right? So here, at least the chimpanzees beat us in the first question. Moving on, this was about people living in poverty. So in the last 20 years, again to everyone's surprise, it has almost halved. I don't even trust the experts anymore, and Toastmasters, we need to do better. And yet again, the chimps beat us. They don't even read the news. Come on, guys. Finally, about children getting vaccinated. This is the result. Now I see two patterns here. Maximum of the respondents are giving the wrong answer. The second pattern is the chimps are always beating us. Unfortunately, I'll be able to comfort you by making you realize that it's not your fault. But why are so many people wrong about the world? Why do we fail to realize that step by step, year by year, our life is improving? The answer is simple. Our worldview is outdated and overdramatic. Our instincts, which were useful for our ancestors who were hunters and gatherers, are not applicable anymore. It makes us identify non-existent dangers and jump to conclusions. I first read about these instincts in this beautiful book by Dr. Hans Rosling, Factfulness, which completely changed my life. And today I'm going to discuss three of these instincts. The first instinct is the negativity instinct, which makes us see more of bad than the good. Now here the biggest offender is the news. We're constantly subject to waves of negative news, wars, disease, disasters, terrors. And that changes our mindset. And it has to be understood that good news is rarely sensational or exciting and tends to go unnoticed. Think about an air crash. It shadows out the reality of millions of passengers who arrive at their destination safely. The second instinct that I'm going to speak to you about is the fear instinct, which fuels a misconception that the world is more frightening than it really is. Take terrorism, for example. Every single day, 72 lives are lost to terror attacks. 72 innocent lives are a lot. But do you know how many lives are lost to heart-related disease every single day? 48,754 human lives. That's 1/3 of the lives lost in a year. Yet when we think about terror attacks, we grossly overestimate the risk. And for a young and healthy person like me, I would consider the possibility of a heart disease so remote that I won't even care about it. Yet a third of all of us will be killed by heart disease. The final instinct that I'm going to speak to you about is the generalization instinct, which is very, very common these days. Ever since the number of COVID cases started rising in India, some videos were doing the round where some rowdy locals were harassing people from the Northeast, calling them coronavirus. This was also seen in the US. Now, there was no reason to believe that these people were infected with the virus, but their deduction was since the virus originated in China, any individual with mongoloid features could carry them and potentially infect others. This is generalization instinct at play. look around yourselves. How has the world changed? I mean, these kind of instincts cloud our rational thought process. So when we think that the world is getting worse, we are not thinking, we are just feeling. And our feelings are biased because of the instinct that I spoke to you about. Seriously, look around yourselves. The world has changed so much. It has never been a better place for human beings to live in. And I mean it. Now, you may say, not really. Look at coronavirus destroying our sanity. But let me tell you something, these pandemics are not unprecedented. They have been predicted and do occur once or twice in every century. The last time it happened was in 1918 with the Spanish flu, which killed over 30 million people in a single year. Yes, 3 crore human lives in a single year. That was 100 years back. Today, we are 100 times more prepared. You talk about global cooperation, scientific knowledge, communication, everything is shot up exponentially. Just in the respect of vaccines, which usually takes up years to get into trial, we are seeing great progress in months. So, ladies and gentlemen, amid this lockdown and uncertainty, I want you to pause, breathe, and consider taking one more important habit in your life, the habit of factfulness, the practice of not carrying any opinions without strong supporting facts. And by facts, I don't mean thrice forwarded WhatsApp message or a scaremongering Facebook post. And then hopefully we can at least beat the chimps in the next survey. Thank you.